What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Shill and Chill podcast. I am your host, Mike Waltrace. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't hit the follow button on Twitch, if you're watching over there, please do so. Tonight, we're going to have a special episode, and I had to have glasses because my guest wears glasses. Tonight we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about our project. We're going to talk about all the things that go along with that. That being said, without further ado, because we're a minute late, and it's my fault because I saw some nonsense just happen in my Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, SheLion Gaming, also known as Jade. There, I hit a button. I did it.
Thank you for hitting the button, Mike.
Look, I tried my best to hit the button. At first, the button didn't want to go. Like literally in the beginning, I'm sitting there clicking it, and I'm clicking the button, and it's not going, and it's not doing what it's supposed to. Reset Rudy. Every episode is special, but tonight is especially special. We're gonna discuss what SheLion has going on. We're going to discuss her project. If you guys haven't seen it on Twitter, why am I talking about it? I'm gonna let you talk about it. Yo, SheLion, 90 seconds. Give your quick elevator pitch.
Oh, you can't give me a time frame like that. I've already wasted like 10 seconds right now. See.
Well, you've got as much time as you want, but 90 seconds at least.
Okay, at least 90 seconds. So I've been working on this. Originally, I was saying it was like a mini docu-series type thing. And now I'm kind of like, it's somewhere between there and just a mini series about kind of nostalgia, I guess, and shared experiences. So I've been working on it for a couple months, and then I kind of got snagged for a little bit and then was able to pick it back up. I was also waiting to get all the content creators who are involved in the collaboration and creation of it solidified and get the footage together and start going through the whole editing process and everything. So over the last, I would say 3-4 days, I've been like hardcore just editing the living life out of it to get it done, and really just kind of like push through it to get it where I wanted it. So it's very exciting. The overall premise of it is just that you have these content creators from different edges of the community galaxy, or the gaming community galaxy even, coming together to talk about their experiences and share them, and you just see all these different aspects of how people got into gaming and arcade games and stuff like that. So it's just a fun thing that is kind of outside the realm of judgment or categories, if that makes sense.
No, it absolutely does. I was timing you. You went over by like, I don't know, a minute and a half. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, that's awesome. It's always good to hear different perspectives on things. I know you probably didn't answer, but indulge the people who don't use Twitter or who may have not seen your thumbnail. Who are the content creators that you have involved in this project?
Okay, so the content creators that I have involved in this project are exclusive content creators who go by the names exclusively. I'm sorry. I'm being so dumb right now.
No,
Okay.
Listen, that's
So
what we're
we've got-
doing. It's absolutely fun. That is what we're doing.
Obviously, myself and Mike here, and then Retro Ralph and Scarlet Sprites. So it's a really good collage of content creators from different areas of gaming / arcade space. I was kind of talking to Mike about this earlier, but I myself am somewhat of a hybrid setup, with coin ops and home arcade stuff and multicades. And then Mike himself is more of a home arcade guy And then you have Scarlet Sprites, who's really, coin ops, like very hardcore coin ops, but like really good at what he does, and has like the biggest Neo Geo MVS collection ever. And a lot of really cool cabs that he's gotten. And then you have Retro Ralph, and he's obviously huge and has been doing this for a long time. And he's interesting too, because he started off in the home arcade space and migrated over to coin ops, and I can totally understand why, especially when you become so involved and have all the resources to be able to really do that kind of stuff. So it's a really good collage of content creators. And in all honesty, I feel like this first run of the show is really kind of like a pilot, because if it does well, then ideally I could run another season and have more people on. But it also, the element that is added to this, just caveat here, the element that's added to this that makes it kind of like a docu-series is that it kind of follows like my own personal story of how I got involved in the arcade scene, home arcade scene, coin ops, all that.
I dig that. I did that. Before we move forward, I see it in the chat. $2 super chat from Sosa fan. Bam bam. Free MK4. To the statement that I saw above that, Mode has every fighting game except Mortal Kombat. I actually do own the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 cabinet. It's just in my living room. It's pictured in my Discord, so I do have Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do have it. Yeah. Actually, Nick's here. Nick saw it in the box. Nick was here in the box. So when you were talking about it, you use the term home arcade with the air quotations. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that term? Like, does it bother you? I mean, like, how does it make you feel when you hear XYZ as a home arcade content creator, or not just a content creator? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, okay. I think that like the home arcade space could be used as a general term for content creators who are buying retail products that are not true coin ops, if that makes sense. Does that make it any more or less of a space? Absolutely not. To me, it's just a term that is supposed to like define that for what it is. So I'm using it just because I feel like it's like people immediately relate to it and know what we're talking about, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
And then, there's like coin ops, and there's technically, you could say, home arcade coin ops, because if somebody has a bunch of coin ops in their house, it's a home arcade. And then you have like multicades, which could also fall into the home arcade genre, right? But it's just, there's a lot of different points of view on that, and I feel like as time goes on and I'm creating in this space, like I try to kind of step back from that,
right?
Because I think it's more important to focus on, for me at least, like on my channel, I think it's important for me to focus on what I'm delivering to like the viewers. So, I mean, my opinions matter, but like delivering like technical things about home arcade products so that people really know like nitty gritty what they're getting. Because there are people that really want to know that, or that need to know that, or that need proper education or whatever. And then there's also the aspect of collecting or restoring actual coin ops, and then, having that knowledge as well. So I think it's kind of a very fine line that I skid there. But yeah, the term, though, to answer your question in a very roundabout way, and now more directly, it doesn't really matter to me. It's just a way for me to say, like, if I say that, people know what I'm talking about, I guess.
No, that makes absolute sense. It's thrown around lately as a derogatory kind of theme, a kind of phrase. So that's why I figured I would ask your opinion on it, because you yourself, you've got the 3/4 scales, and now you've gotten like full size arcades. Mm-hmm. So to hear your perspective on that for me is quite interesting. As somebody who has been thinking about it, the more and more it goes on, I'm starting to sound like Ralph. But it's like I started here, and now I'm starting to get that itch to want to buy full size, to the points where literally before we started the show, half an hour, I saw a golden tee in my area without the board and without the CRT, just the shell and the deck and everything for $50. And I'm like,
$50.
$50, right? Right, exactly. I'm like, that's $50, and I love golden tee.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And I was gonna say, and I love golden tee, but it's like, man, $50, and then I gotta source the CRT. I got to source a board, and then act like I know what the hell I'm doing and not get electrocuted or discharge a thing. It's a lot. So I figured, who has both can speak to this,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's just a totally subjective term. Like when you really break it down, it's totally subjective. I don't know. Like, I mean, I hate getting like caught up on stuff like that, which is like why I was saying, like, I like to focus more on like the details of things. So like the way that, Arcade 1-Up runs as a company, or ways that you can source arcade cabinets, and like good financial based decisions that can help you to achieve what you want to, as far as like what you're picking up, whether it's be an Arcade 1-Up, an iiRcade, ALU, or an actual coin op. And I think that there are some good contrasts, but it just really comes down to what people want to. I mean, some people straight up cannot fit a coin op in their house. Like if you live in an apartment on the 3rd floor, you ain't getting a coin op up there.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But someone wants to play, Street Fighter or whatever game, and they can pick up an Arcade 1-Up, get it up there relatively easily compared to a home arcade, right? And then have it in their apartment, even if it's just one cab or whatever. So I do see like value in certain things, and I think that there's just a lot of different situations that things can be applicable to. So it is very subjective.
Speaking of value, chat, because I want to do something that's going to lead into the next question that I have. Value, chat. You guys are going to see something right now that Jay took the time to create for you all to check out. So I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like, but we're going to watch it together, and it's going to be a nice little sampler, an amuse-bouche, if you will, to the series that she has been working for months on.
This is the Redlands Mall, located in sunny Southern California, or what's left of it. It used to be a huge social hub and gathering place for people who like to play arcade games. All that seems to be left of arcade games is the vapor, our memories, and what we collect. Memories that can bring us together. Do you remember what your favorite thing about playing arcade games in an arcade was? Or some of the best experiences you have? Arcade Legends is something that we developed to bring gaming communities closer together through shared experiences. So join us as we live vicariously through each other and explore the origin of our admiration for arcade games, our own Arcade Legends.
Wow. So, chat, I have not watched that. I was waiting to watch it along with you all. Can I just say how well produced that trailer is? And thank you for making that so that people could get enticed on what they're going to watch. Chat, after the stream ends, there will be a redirect to the video, to the first episode that's going to be of this to our channel. So if you don't know where to find it, there's going to be a redirect. Yeah, it's going to be a premiere, but you guys should be hitting the subscribe button. And if you're not subscribed, her link's in the channel. Scarlet Sprite's link is in the channel, in the description. Retro Ralph's link is in the description. I'd say mine, but you guys are kind of already here. So real quick, I just got goosebumps. Like, legitimately, like, my arm has hair standing up. That is insane to me. So that is freaking awesome. First off, that's awesome. So wow.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm glad you liked it.
let me compose myself, and that's what I get for not watching stuff. Come on this show, chat. Listen, I'm not watching anything. I'm giving you a genuine
Hey,
reaction,
I
right?
got to see a real reaction.
Yeah, like legit. Like, so I watched the clip you sent us earlier. The rough, but I didn't see the trailer, and it just made me just be like, wow, that is. I'm not easily impressed, chat, and I'm impressed. I'm legitimately smiling, and y'all never see me smile on stream. So let me fix that. Okay. So you said earlier that this could be a seasonal thing. So are you thinking the idea for your show? Are you thinking that this is like the inaugural season, like your season one? Is this something that if it does well, that you're planning on bringing forward with different individuals into another season going forward?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I would like that. I think that it would be really fun. I just don't know, how what the audience is going to be like, I should say, and if it's something that is really enjoyable that people are liking and they're watching and they want more of it, then I'm going to do that. But I'm also in the mindset of like I'm a creative, so if it doesn't do well and people aren't really having fun with it, then maybe go in a different direction or just do something entirely different. So we'll see. But if it does well, 100%, I would like to run another season of it, and have more people come on and be a part of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the first episode airs Thursday, and it's airing at 9 a.m. PST, 11 a.m. CST, 12 p.m. EST. And don't ask me what Mountain Time is. See, chat, I worked the gimmick in. I got the gimmick in about the time zones, right? And it'll be premiering. So once again, the link for SheLion's channel is in the description. It'll be a redirect right afterwards. But bump all that. I'm sitting here looking at the nostalgia and looking at just the work that you put in. And a lot of people might not know, but you've been putting a lot of time in the arcades since you were young, you know? And I don't think people know that. Like, go ahead and tell the people, what just draws you into this. This isn't a fad for you. This is something that you've been doing your whole life, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, obviously when I was a kid, I used to go to the arcade all the time. And I used to go to the arcade all the time with my dad. And so he was like my gateway into it. But anyways, kind of skipping ahead, I was there periodically throughout, every kind of era that the arcades hit, up until they kind of just got watered down. I mean, there's still places that have arcades like bowling alleys and stuff like that, but as well as I do, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like that's all I can say.
Yeah.
But definitely there was a point where I remember when MAME came out, and I was following emulation. Like I remember ZSNES and MAME came out and a couple others like for Genesis. And this is in the beginning, like this is like what, 2000s or something.
Yeah, early 2000s,
And
yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you know what you could do with MAME? You could just build an arcade cabinet or get an empty one and just plug your computer into it. Because at some point, they started doing S-Video out and AV out and stuff like that. And so I kind of was chasing after that whole multicade thing because at the time, I just couldn't afford an arcade cabinet. Like that was ludicrous at the time. I mean, back even into like probably the early 2000s, they were still expensive and not something that you just picked up unless you had money, cash money. But now we kind of went through this era, like especially in like 2010 timeframe, where man, you could get some wicked sick deals on a full size cab. But now it's kind of going back up and sloping, but like I feel like slowly going up, like where it's you get one and you fix it up and you keep it, because if you don't, then the chance of you finding that same one, is probably unlikely. So anyways, after I built my friend actually built the wooden part of the MAME cab for me, and I put that together with a CRT in it. And then Eventually, after I got out of the military and I started kind of gravitating towards back towards all that stuff, that's when I started getting into things even more. But Arcade One Up was definitely my gateway, like back into it, even though I had the multicade cab, just because they were doing form factors that I thought were really cool. Like Star Wars, for example, is like an amazing one, right? Because it has the
Hmm.
yoke. And so that was one that I was like, oh, wow, because you can't find a Star Wars anywhere for cheap.
Right.
In good working condition with a CRT. And I'm very much a purist when it comes to the actual full size arcade cabs. Like, I'm not going to put an LCD screen in it or anything like that. And I am not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying I'm a purist when it comes to that. So if I get a full size cab, like, I want it to be the way it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so, anyways, that kind of drew me back in, and there's still things that I do appreciate about the 3/4 scale cabs, and that I like about them. But I also like having some full size cabs. Donkey Kong is a great one because that's one that they're never going to make. There's probably never going to be a replica of that cab because of all the legal weird stuff that's going on with it between Nintendo's rights and then the coders that originally programmed it and blah blah blah.
Right.
So that was like a huge one. But anyways, that's what drew me back in, and then I think I kind of my path of balancing between what I like and what I want to refine in my collection and all that.
Definitely. I know we're not doing Q&A, but this is actually a really good question. Roderick, who lost to Detroit Love, who from button mashing that I found out Sunday night, wants to know, as a content creator, can you speak to the struggles of staying unique in your genre while at the same time being a trailblazer to get new content ideas? That's some praise, legit. But I'll put it up there so you can answer that. That's that's some praise right there.
Yeah, that's really like well worded.
Yeah, he's articulate and educated.
Yeah. Um Gosh, I don't even really know how to answer that. I mean, like for me, I feel kind of lucky because I came into the community and there was people who saw my content and just appreciated it for what it was. Um, and I just have kind of gotten along with, the right people in the space, I guess. Um, but as far as like growing, that's kind of what has helped me grow. And then all, whatever content I make that does really well usually pulls in a lot of subscribers. Like, but the unique aspect of it, I think for me, is my creative side because some channels just kind of like stick to a specific format, and I feel like I try a lot of different things. Like I have the pre-recorded podcast now, which I call Lioness in the Wild, and then I still do occasional live streams. And then just my content creation in general, like I just try to be. I don't really try to be. My brain is wired like a rainbow, so I'm just really outside of the box a lot of times, I think. But I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff I do, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to do good, and sometimes it just doesn't. So
How do you respond to that? Like, it's one of those things where you're the same thing where I'm just like, some things you just don't expect to do well, and other things you're just kind of like, well, it should do well, and it doesn't. Perfect example, the for me at least, the AtGames Legends quad play video. I thought it was gonna do like 1,000, maybe at the most, and it's doing banana stuff. Like, how do you feel when like it's something that you probably didn't put a lot of work into, or something that you weren't really trying that hard? Like, I guess let me rephrase it. Does it bother you when you put a lot of work into something and it doesn't do as well as you think it should, but then you just kind of just like do something that you're just kind of meh about, and then it just takes off?
I think on YouTube, I try to I try to work like equally on everything, if that makes sense.
Oh no, I get it. I get that.
So that way, if it does good or bad, I'm like not disappointed. Like, am I disappointed? Kind of, if it doesn't do well. Like, yeah, of course. But I don't feel like bad about it per se, you know, because it's like if I'm putting the equal amount of work into everything, then it's okay. But like this show though, like this first episode, I'm really hoping it does well because this one is like I feel like everybody's heart is in it. So
Yeah.
I hope that people feel that when they watch it.
One in the chat, if you are an individual who are excited to watch some content about not home arcade, but just arcade experiences and stuff in general. And I think that's the thing that we're not really hitting on. We're talking about it, but for those who aren't understanding, without me giving away the bag, it's from at least from what I've talked about, it's about the experience. It's about, you know, getting your hands dirty and just going in there. For instance, Jade, what was the first game that you ever played in the arcade?
Hey, I'm not supposed to talk about that yet.
Yeah. See, exactly. See, exactly. Without giving away the bag, but again, that's why you watch it, so you guys can get some insight. There's this whole thing of and listen, I know y'all. I seen y'all out there, and y'all like, oh well, Mo doesn't know anything about arcades. I hope y'all realize that I probably go to more arcades in a month than some of y'all do go to in a year. You know, and it's just because you love what you do. I can't speak for you. I can only speak for myself. And me personally, I love the feeling of broken buttons and sticky panels. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff that I grew up on. You know, and so I just want you to see these ones in the chat right there. There's a one. There's a one. There's a one. There's a one. I'm not letting it go fast enough, but there's a one. There's a one. There's a one. So I don't want you to feel discouraged or anything else like that. I think it will. I think it'll do very well, And if anything, at least from what I've seen, you'll all feel the passion in this project because let's call it what it is. It's a passion project. If y'all knew how long this has been getting worked on, like seriously, again, not to give away the bag or anything like that. Jade, how long have you been working on this project?
Oh gosh, you know what? I actually could tell you because I can look right now. Let me look on my YouTube because if I look at the first trailer that I did for it, that's going to tell me. Sorry if I'm getting away from the mic there.
You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine.
But this is a good question because it's development for I feel like for maybe 3 or 4 months. 4 months.
Yeah, so it's been longer than that. I think it's been longer than that.
Yeah, 4 months. And so it was a lot of it was so the conceptual idea of it and like like I did do some filming and then refilmed a lot of stuff, like recut it and refilmed it. And then also like so I had some stuff was set up already, but then actually networking and getting a hold of people who I thought would be a good fit for the first one, and also like with a range, and that's why I think like with the range of like Ralph to you and myself, there's like this good bridge, so that when everybody's watching it, it's really something that they're just watching for, literally, like just to hear these different experiences and stories and see what these people are saying. And I just think like in the first episode, everything that people are going to see, it's all relatable. And I think that is important because that's where people feel it,
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. So in your vision and for season one, we're going to say season one right now because there's potential for more, So in season one, you had a vision of people that you want to fit certain pieces to this puzzle that you were trying to put together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know. And I don't even know who was I talking to. I don't know, but anyways, because Ralph was helping me with my Donkey Kong cab. That's what it was. And I think that's when I asked him, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about doing this like mini docuseries type thing. Like, would you be interested in it? And I can't remember. No, I didn't pitch him like the first trailer until after I talked to him about it. But he was like, yeah, I'll do that. And so he's been like, like all of you guys, you Joe and Ralph have all been really helpful and been like, hey, here's what you asked for. If you need anything else, let me know. Which is all I needed. So
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about it. It's funny because I traveled and I didn't plan to travel. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go in here and listen. Some stuff y'all might see of me in there is kind of mid. But I think the thing I'm more mad about is that we recorded it and I didn't have a new camera. So now I'm sitting here with this 4K camera in my face and I'm like, hi, and then I got this other DSLR. I'm like, yeah, dude, we got cameras now. But again.
The funny thing is, so I have pretty much everything I need. However, pause for effect. I could request more footage from you guys, and this is something I was actually going to talk to you about offline. But since we're right here, it's cool. It doesn't matter. But I was gonna ask you for a little bit more B-roll, and I actually might throw out 2 or 3 big questions, like ones that you guys would have to like answer in length kind of before the end of the series. And so it would just be like an add-in to the last episode probably, but so you might get an opportunity to use it, Mike.
So I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I kind of like to run my mouth. So yeah, no, that's completely fine. Listen, I'm excited for everybody to see this. Seriously, this is, I don't hype a lot of stuff up, chat. I'm hyping this, not just because of me, but because I know what's involved in it, and I've yet to hear the other individuals' responses or anything like that. Yeah, I am over the moon. You mentioned Ralph earlier, and for Ralph is very approachable. If you know, he's sliding his DMs. Again, you guys know that we do the Outsiders podcast, and let me tell you, I almost crapped a brick when I asked him to do my show for one time. I was like, hey man, whatever. But Ralph's really cool, seriously. And this is right hand to the Lord, or that's left hand. Right hand to the Lord. If anybody keeps me energetic in this community, it's Ralph. Seriously, and not to praise him or put him over or anything like that, but literally you'll be sitting there thinking like, man, this thing sucked, and then you get a message like, bro, yo, that video was good, man. It was. He was like, bro, I'm like, really? So again, it's just, it's not like a mentorship, but he's
very charismatic. He's got a lot of charisma, and it just kind of radiates off of him.
Yeah, and it's charisma that's tied into genuine, being genuine,
Right.
I think he kind of operates in that space where a lot of us do, where we're good and you're good as long as you're honest about what your intentions are and whatever else. And again, man, it's been a blast just even interacting with him and you. See, we're actually talking about the show this time. For you guys who didn't see the first episode of Lioness in the Wild, go to SheLion's channel and go watch that, because we didn't talk about none of this stuff. And that was the whole purpose. The whole purpose was for us to talk about this, and nope.
Well, see, technically I kind of tricked you a little bit, because the whole purpose of that show is just to have fun. So Lioness in the Wild is totally about just having fun and talking about whatever. I mean, but we kind of like to talk about game related stuff, so that's usually where we're at.
Yeah, just sitting there shooting it, and that's completely fine. So,
by the way, you have to come back on before I forget. You have to come back on, because I mean, not like we'll figure it out, but you have to come back on because we have to do another episode now that I have like all my editing stuff set up to where I can re-edit things.
So in other words, what she's saying, Chad, is that she can put a filter over my face, and we can do it. No, I'm always down. I'm always down. So I brought it up. Speaking of Lioness in the Wild, you're about 2 episodes in so far?
Yes. Yeah.
So I believe myself and B Kong from Kong's Rust with again.
Yeah.
So without giving it away.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so I've been looking at different content creators to kind of bring on and talk to as well, like going down the road. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
What did you think of the episode with B?
B is B. It was good though. Once I saw the thumbnail, I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
I had like the most extreme edits in there though. It made it like even better. But he had anyways, that was a fun one to.
wait. You're not just gonna struggle it off like yo. So, anyways.
I'm just like, sometimes I start talking and I'm like, why are you talking? Shut up.
Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk and apparently read chats about Cheez-Its and stuff. So that's what we're here to do. So you've done it with me. You've done it with B. Let me ask you, who's a content creator that you have not...
What?
Wait, what? Wait, what? What? No, I'm reading the comments so I don't miss anything. And then I saw something about sliding into DMs from Matt Astor about Cheez-Its. And I'm like, all right then. So who's a content creator that you have not either interacted with or you've had minimal interaction with that you would love to just collab with? Doesn't have to be in the home arcade space, just anybody in general.
Oh man. That's a good question. I might have to come back to that just because I'm like really like well, first of all, there's like several content creators that I think it would be cool to have, that kind of an interaction with. But I haven't really thought about it too much other than like kind of our base community area, I guess. Man, you stumped me.
Okay. Then I'm doing my job. Awesome. Okay, so let me ask you something. And this is gonna be kind of funny.
Fire away.
So you play Capcom, you play the Street Fighters and things of that nature, right? Have you ever seen your average gamer play Street Fighter?
I have not seen him play Street Fighter. I was just under the impression that I would be able to beat him, but I never had the opportunity.
Well, there goes my next question because that's what it was. I was literally gonna ask, like, hey, so you think you can beat him? I kid.
But I've never seen him. Is he good at Street Fighter?
So anyway, there's these no. Okay. He's good at turbo. Okay. He's good at turbo. Like he's got fundamentals, And I've been told many
super
times.
Super turbo or turbo?
Super turbo.
Okay.
Super turbo,
Okay.
Not like hyper or, C or anything like that, right? And I was always told as long as you've got fundamentals, he's got fundamentals. They're pretty they're kind of solid,
Okay.
That's just something that on the top of my head I was like, man, while I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'd love to see them go at it. Maybe for some kind of cause or something like that in the future, There's a reason why they call him UA free. Anyway. Okay, so while you wax poetic on people that you like to collab with, I see a lot of cabinets in your background. What's your favorite one?
Oh man,
the one that you love.
It's another loaded question. One of my favorite ones is definitely my Donkey Kong cabinet. If from my coin ops, man, that's really hard too because like my MVS is really another awesome one. But Donkey Kong, I would say from my coin ops is probably one of my favorites. I do really like my multi-cade too. But you know what I like? You know what I like about the one thing I like about the 3/4 scale cabs is that this is Donkey Kong.
Yep. It is Donkey Kong. I figured I'd show it while you were talking about it. Go for it.
But anyways, yeah, so this one I actually got out of this guy was selling it, but it came out of a house fire. Like it literally was in a house fire. Like it smelled like smoke when I got it. But the inside was pretty good. It was a little bit dusty, but it was pretty good overall. And the monitor worked great. It still works great. So I just had to completely redo the outside, basically, to make a long story short. And it was a fun project. But that sticker, oh my god, that was it. So, I had some people leave.
Oh no! Wait! I'm rewinding to that because you watching Toradora?
Oh no.
My bad. I had to ask him, like, wait a minute, hold on. But Yeah, like I just want people to see the and just to show that you've done all the work yourself, and with help from people in the community. You stated that, but like look,
Yeah, yeah. The knowledge, that's one thing that's like really great about the arcade space, like the community just in general, is that, there are good people that are always willing to like help out and stuff like that. And I got a lot of help. I actually got help. Rexer and Ralph were the two that really helped me on this one,
okay,
and got me in the direction to where I needed to go. So the paint code I actually got from Rexer. But anyways, yeah. So it was a good project. But that sticker, I've had people comment and say like, why don't you just like wipe it off with sticker remover or Goo Gone or something? And I'm like, dude, you have no idea. That sticker was literally melted on there. It was halfway melted on there. I had to Dremel it off. It was a beast. I was sweating.
so what's more satisfying for you? Is it more satisfying for you to pick up an arcade cabinet that's pretty much finished, or to do it yourself?
It's definitely more satisfying to do it myself. But I think so there's like a set of rules that I follow. The CRT has to work. The cabinet has to function properly, like the internals. The control deck can be broken, and the marquee can be broken, and the outside can need to be restored. But those core things have to be working, or I won't take on the project. But it's 100% more satisfying to get something that is tore up and then, make it anew again. I love it because then it's got your heart in it as well. So through all the places that thing has been, throughout its lifetime, and then you get it, and then you put a little bit of your heart into it, and now it's yours.
I dig that. I dig that.
You're
This is
super
the
proud.
question. This is a question that I actually have. Jade, aren't you ever worried about the real arcade that can break? What happens if you can't find the parts? That's a good question. That's something that kind of I think pushes a lot of people off to the wayside about arcades.
No, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I mean, the other thing is too is like how much money did you spend on it? I'm not going to invest in something that I'm going to have to worry about breaking. But like I said, like I also have my outlying rules that are, if I pick up this cabinet, CRT's got to be working. X, Y, and Z has to be good, and A, B, and C can be screwed, but that's all stuff that I can fix. But I'm not worried about it, because if it does break, I'll find a way to fix it. It's just a matter of time. But if you look at all the cabs that I do have, the full size ones that I have, they're all where they need to be. So if something breaks internally, like that's all I'm going to be working on. You know what I mean? And that's nothing. Like when the whole cab is good to go, something on the inside failing isn't a big deal. And sourcing parts for that is just something that takes time
I dig that. I dig
and a
that.
little bit of money.
A little bit of bread as we showcase your game room. What's one cabinet that's not in this game room that you would love to have, and why
Hmm.
do you keep showing there?
Um, One cabinet. You know what? I feel pretty good about my setup. I think Donkey Kong Jr. and Discs of Tron would be like the two that would break me.
Okay, okay.
I
Why
think
Disc of Tron?
because Discs of Tron is just, first of all, it's a really beautiful looking cab. It's got that upright look like the original Tron. Um, but the design is slightly different because the back panels are they're not angled, they're just straight up and down. But the artwork is amazing. The overall setup, and it's got like a screen with a mirror in it, and
Okay,
you get like the backdrop effect, which you don't get on this version. And also you get, now I think on the upright version there was no voice on there for Sark, but I think you can actually get like the the ROM for it and just put it in the upright version if you wanted to. But anyways, it's just a really cool looking, intricate cab, and the artwork's amazing. If you can, you should Google it real quick and see if you can pull it up, because it really is a cool looking cab. But the Discs of Tron upright, they had an environmental one that you would step into and play, and that had like voiceovers in it and stuff like that. And that one is just unbelievable too.
Okay. So when you go into an arcade, any arcade, what's the first kind of game that you go for? What do you gravitate towards?
Oof. I mean, like nowadays, or
No, yeah, nowadays. Can't ask like 10-year-old Jade. I gotta ask you now because
yeah, I mean, it depends on the arcade, but if it's like if I go to a bowling alley around here, it's basically they have like a bunch of Felix, and then they have like all the weird dancing and rhythm games and stuff like that. And so I'm just going straight towards like, Street Fighter or something of that nature.
I'm gonna need you to define weird rhythm game. I just want to make sure you're not throwing off the balance. Jay, what is a weird rhythm game to you?
Okay, well, I don't know. Like, I see some of they have like these imported arcade games, and they're like rhythmic games. So you like it's like music or whatever. So like, not Guitar Hero, but whatever the new age stuff is. I sound like an old fart talking about it because I don't even know.
I know what you're talking about. There's a couple of them. There's some DJ ones. There's like some drum ones.
And then they have like Injustice and TMNT, like the new versions of the newer version of the TMNT is cool looking. It's just very, robust.
Yeah.
But they have like Injustice, which I just look at because there's nothing appealing about it.
It's weird because you don't even play it. It's like 3 buttons and you get a card from it. Right. And I think the only reason I played it was so I can get a card of Harley Quinn, and they gave me Green Lantern, and they gave me Black Adam, and they gave me another Green Lantern, and I said, screw this game. Yeah. So yeah, no, I absolutely understand that. Oh man, that's hilarious. And now we're going to circle back to the question that I've left marinating in your head for the 9 minutes. Content creator that you would love to collab with. They might be in this chat right now watching. They might watch this in the VOD somewhere. Fine. If you can't name one, give me 3. How about 3?
3 random content creators that I would.
Well, not random. Just I guess if you do single them out, I guess it looks like it's favoritism. So we're gonna call them random, but they're really gonna be your picks.
So, well, no, I mean, but you said any space. It doesn't have to be
any space. Absolutely, any space. If it makes you easier, I can answer real fast because it's easy, right?
Joe Rogan.
Okay.
I mean, I just want to like shoot the shit with him on his podcast. I think that would be really fun. But is that like outside of the YouTube space?
No, Joe Rogan does YouTube. Technically, he has his podcast on YouTube. It counts.
Right.
It counts.
Okay. Who else that I haven't? Let me see.
That you haven't, yes. Like Dream List. Like, I guess I can give you some time to stall. That's okay.
I gave you one. I gave you one.
Gave me one. Gave me Joe Rogan. So
let's do another Yui.
So real quick, no, we can't. You're gonna have to answer it eventually. So for instance, if I had to do 3, the foodie in me would want to do one with Josh Wiseman, because Joshua Wiseman's great. I love that dude. Like his butt better, but faster. That dude's great. Wow, mine is gonna be all food stuff, isn't it? What does it say about me, right? Another one, and I can't think of the name, but it's the group who does. They're kind of like the Korean Pentatonics. And I can't, and I know that sounds really wrong, but like they do all kinds of covers of music, whatever, and I can't think of their name. And then, it's funny because somebody in the chat, somebody said Review Tech USA. I remember watching that dude when it was like 30,000. But literally, Joe Rogan, like he would be cool to shoot the crap with. But from what that dude's gone through, I'd love to just sit and shoot the crap with the middle-aged balding male like Review Tech USA who got a freaking chicken over with the breast. Like legit, that's funny to me. I'm sorry. That's funny to me.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm like not. I'm also not like super versed in YouTube, just
Oh yeah.
because there. I think there's like certain things that just appeal to me, and then I'm kind of like in the
Yeah.
community here.
Oh well, if I
So
didn't think about outside of YouTube. Well, if it's outside of YouTube, this is
no,
easy.
no, 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 no. I just mean like as far as like the diversity of what I watch, what
Right.
content I watch on YouTube. Also, I have this really weird thing. So I've written a book, and I'm actually like I've in the process of writing two other books that are really like intricate and connected, interconnected, which all kind of originate from the first book. But my point is just that I I had to stop watching movies and reading books while I was doing it because I didn't want any outside influences coming in and affecting my creativity. And so I'm kind of in a weird way like that with YouTube, where I try not to go to like get too deep into watching stuff that is like really creative content or discusses certain things, because I want to have my own opinions on things. And I don't want to be able, like, somebody to be able to say, like, oh, well, you watch this person or you watch that person. So you're just saying what they say or doing what they do. Like, I just want to be as original as possible.
No, I dig that. I dig that. I would show my YouTube subscription feed, but yeah, I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be judged. So let me ask you: when you're not doing when you're not doing arcade stuff, what do you do to like relax? Like, what are you watching if you're not watching? You're not watching YouTube. What are you consuming? Are you listening to music? Are you doing some art? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, like, aside from managing like a family, I guess, like cleaning, sometimes I'm just being a lazy bitch, like just trying to do nothing.
I
Like
feel that. Oh, I feel that.
I will sit and do nothing on my couch for an hour, and that's usually when I'm scrolling like TikTok or YouTube or something like that. Um, Instagram. But yeah, I mean, I'm usually either sucked into some sort of arcade project or gaming thing, or I'm taking care of, doing the whole parent thing. You know how that is.
Oh yeah, no doubt,
And
no doubt.
and and then outside of that, I mean, I try to get outside every once in a while too.
Uh,
Because I'm just like, I feel like a gremlin. Like, I get stuff delivered here and I like open the door and peek out like Gollum, and I'm like grab my package and go back. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Rhea wants to know if your books are nonfiction. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. It's cool if you
No,
don't.
they're fiction, so I can even tell you what they're about. So the first one's completely done. It was published, and then I unpublished it because I wanted to revise it. And this was as of recent, actually, within the last 6 months, I think. But it's basically, the first book is a story about this guy, and it's in the future. And what did I call it? I think it was Neo San Diego. And basically, the guy loses his family, ends up in a coma, wakes up 8 years later, and then that's where the story like really takes off. But he goes looking for his daughter, who he thinks survived this like carjacking that they had basically from human traffickers. But what he doesn't know is that the company that he used to work for actually hired someone, and he was like randomly a part of the hit that they hired him for.
Wow.
And so his family was just a byproduct of this like really huge corporation. And then they ended up using him, who should have died, and using nanotechnology to basically restore all of his bodily functions and brain and everything. And so that's why he was in a coma for 8 years, because all these little nanobots were like fixing him and making him operational again. But he doesn't find this out until almost the end of the book. And so he gets in like this, like goes through and starts figuring out he has these powers, and the reader is going like, what is how does this guy have these powers? And so you're like, this is total BS, right? Like, there's no way. But I like, everything gets explained from a scientific point of view. So this guy basically, because he has all these nanites in his body, can like do all this crazy stuff, like create like a magnetic shield that allows him to like levitate and do all this other stuff. And at the end of the story, there's like this epic battle. I mean, I'm talking epic. And one of the weapons that they use in there, they have like plasma swords. And so there's like plasma sword fights and like these air battles, like think like Dragon Ball Z type epicness, you know? Or
I
like
I wouldn't know anything about that kind of stuff.
right. No, it's really like it's a pretty intricate story about how he goes looking for his daughter, and there's two sides to it. So the villain side is that the villain actually raises his daughter, and so the story is almost told in two pieces by him, the dad, and you find out that his daughter was like raised by this guy named Gennaro, who's an assistant for the family that owns this whole corporation thing. And he's actually a good guy, but he's a bad guy, you know? But he's a good guy. He has a good heart. So he protected his daughter and taught her all this crazy stuff. So in the end, super dramatic, but it's a really cool story. And then the other two books that I'm in the process of writing are like way future science fiction. Like we've established a colony on the moon. It's called Nexus, and AI has just been developed, and they use it to create like movie sequences that people can live in. But you completely lose consciousness of who you are and are brought into the character world of the movie that you live in. But that's not what it's about. It's more about the AI and the development of the AI, like the cognitive development and how it becomes sentient, and then eventually like what happens with that. And there's two sides to it. The one book is about the AI itself and the AI's creator and what it does to society. And the second book is about someone on the complete outside of society who ends up going like over to that side of society and is completely tied into the entire story. So the two books kind of like meet in the middle to finish one whole story.
Okay. As I see that we're reaching our allotted hour, you mind if we do a little bit of rapid fire? Just like a couple questions off the top, and you just go with your first instinct. No thinking,
Go.
just fly. Okay. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
PC or Mac?
PC.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
See, you're going to be judged by these questions later. So, clean yourself, let a maid do it.
Oof. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm trying to refer back to what my initial feeling was. What was it? Okay, go back to that one. Next.
Okay. Stay in your home, stay in your personal arcade, or go to like an amazing arcade here in the States, i.e. Galloping Ghost or something of that nature.
I mean, I would say stay in my personal arcade is my first feeling that I get.
Music or podcast? What would you rather listen
to? That's a tough one. I'm split right there, but probably music.
Create creative content or do the same thing every day for a month?
No, create creative content for sure.
Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Street Fighter.
Okay. Cocktail table or full-size arcade?
Like come on. Okay, full size.
Okay. See, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I'm trying not to laugh while I do this. That's unfair if I say that. I can't ask. I don't want you getting in trouble if I say that, right? Okay. This is multiple choice, but most overhyped thing that you see in this space.
Most overhyped thing in our space.
In this space, yes.
Like the most overhyped product or the most overhyped type of content?
It can be product. It can be content. It can be. I'm not going to say person. We don't want you getting in trouble. It could be anything that you feel is overhyped.
Oh my God. That's one of those things too that like when I see it, I'm just like, ugh, and I just like look away. So I'm like trying to think of like what, because there's probably a couple things, but I don't know. Like I just hate redundancy. Like I'll just put it that way.
Fair. That's fair. Stringer Fields with $2 super chat says, "Give up a cab or the anti-fatigue mat."
Oof, I'm gonna have to give up a cab, Stringer. Sorry. That was the answer he wanted anyways. So
YouTube gaming, so PC or console gaming?
Okay. This is another one that I'm very split between because I love PC gaming, but I also love the convenience of console gaming, especially with like these newer next gen consoles that are a lot more powerful. Obviously, PC is always going to be a better experience, right? Visually. And if you like a keyboard and mouse, it's 100% always going to be the better experience. But for convenience sake, I'm going to say console.
Speculation or hard facts? Which one would you rather have?
Well, there's like healthy speculation based on what we know.
We'll go with healthy speculation. We don't want you saying you have anything toxic. We'll go with healthy. I would say
I'm always on the side of like hard facts to produce any type of like conclusions with. So like I don't like, I would say hard facts as much as possible.
Reality TV, docuseries.
Oh, docuseries, yeah.
I'm gonna read it because it's in my chat. iiRcade or Mortal Kombat 4? Don't answer it if you don't want to. I'm just reading the chat. Don't answer. You might end up on a clip. Don't answer.
iiRcade or mental health?
Oh, so you're reading chat now, right? Yeah. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh man,
you like pizza?
No way. I'm not gonna answer that because that is such a trivial thing. Like I see people with bumper stickers that are like, "I'll kill you if you have pineapple on your pizza."
Okay, but how do you feel about it?
I mean, I love Hawaii and I'm from California, so.
From what I understand, my man Gordon Ramsay said that pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. I don't know because I don't like pineapple. Period. So I don't know. It's fibrous for me, right? But I guess that's a fair question. Chicago or New York style pizza? I guess that's fair.
Oh man, New York.
Will we ever see SheLion take on UAG or OTG in the Laundromat Wars or I Got Next in the future?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I'd like to. I mean, I think OTG, I think I can beat them on KI. I don't know about Street Fighter or anything.
Them fight words.
Is OTG in here?
OTG was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he still is, but them fight words.
No, but I'd like to play him. I think it would be really fun. Like even if I get bashed around, honestly, like it's funny. I don't know. I just think it's really fun to play some of these guys online. But it's like a Shark Tank, Like I mean, some of these guys are really, really good. Like
it is. It's insanely it's crazy, especially when we see people you never heard of. They just come out the woodwork.
OTG has seen me play though. He's seen me play KI. So what do you think?
And he heard.
What do you think, OTG? Could I beat you? You've seen me play KI. We've played a little bit.
Now, what does he look like if he says, yes, you can beat me, or no, you can't beat me? Listen, I don't play Killer Instinct 1, and I'm still going to say you can't beat me. I've seen you play it, and I'm trash at it, but as a man, I can't say you can beat me.
Wait, are you talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, if you were to play me in Killer Instinct, you're going to stop me in the first of 5-0. No questions. But do you expect OTG to be like, yeah, you can beat me? Yeah, sis, you got it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like that's the fun part, though. Like, what will the answer be?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z. All right, all right. Let me stop because this might get off the rails. Jay, thank you for being here. Before we go, I want you to go ahead and plug Arcade Legends one more time for the people. You get the 90-second elevator pitch one more time for everybody who might just be walking in.
Okay, so Arcade Legends is the project that I've been working on for about 4 months, right, Mike? And it's a big collab between different elements of the arcade space, gaming space, and it's featuring Retro Ralph, Scarlet Sprites, Mike of All Trades, and myself. And it's going to be a series run of 4 to 6 episodes, and it's just good vibes. It's all about memories, nostalgia, historical stuff, all related to mostly arcade stuff, and a little bit of like my lineage and some of the other content creators and what kind of brought them to where they are today. So check it out. It is going to be on 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursday morning, and it really is. I think it's really going to be a good thing. There's a lot of heart going into it from every angle. So thanks.
Definitely. One question: who designed the logo? Because that logo is clean. I like that logo. Who designed that?
Are you talking about the Arcade Legends?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that was me.
Okay, no, that's awesome. Sorry, long and low. Listen, this PST the best thing. Let's just stop
The
that.
best.
Right? There's no best. Everyone is everyone's equal in their own way, except Mountain Time. Console Fanboy, you don't want to drop all 6 episodes in one time. It's got to be episodic. You gotta leave people wanting more. You know, that's when people don't want to just binge watch stuff. Well, people might want to binge watch stuff, but you heard her say earlier tonight there might be added on content. You might get DLC for this season 1 series. I just refer to the content as DLC. That's hilarious.
I mean, you're not wrong technically.
Yeah, I mean it's DLC, right? But with that, chat, thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Jay, thank you for being here. After the stream ends, there will be a redirect. If you guys aren't subscribed to SheLion's Gaming's channel, make sure you guys drop a sub. And before we go out, we're gonna watch that spicy trailer one more time. Good night, everybody.
This is the Redlands Mall, located in sunny Southern California,
or
what's left of it. It used to be a huge social hub and gathering place for people who like to play arcade games. All that seems to be left of arcade games is the vapor, our memories, and what we collect. Memories that can bring us together. Do you remember what your favorite thing about playing arcade games in an arcade was? Or some of the best experiences you have? Arcade Legends is something that we developed to bring gaming communities closer together through shared experiences. So join us as we live vicariously through each other and explore the origin of our admiration for arcade games, our own Arcade Legends.